Well, I'm not going to lie, the weather here in the UK is absolutely atrocious at the minute. So even more reason then to see what you guys have been up to around the world. So from a, not so much a sun-drenched UK, but a totally drenched UK, we'll be looking at the action from as far afield as Costa Rica to northern Alaska and east coast Australia. We'll also be going to be looking at some tech from German brand Lightville. Always cool when you see new tech. Now this is the Lightville 301. Lightville from Germany. There's some really great little details on this bike. As you can see, there's some vents here which allows air in to keep the battery cool. But check this out. They've actually got their own casing on the E8000 motor to keep it cooler. So I've never seen that before. On an E8000 motor. Really cool bash guard here and this chain guide here which keeps the mud off the tyre and also obviously keeps the chain in line. This bike comes in three sizes, small, medium and large, and this size large has got a 470mm reach. And it's great because you look on the website and it's recommended between people of 172 and 190 centimeters, so obviously being bang in the middle of that, it's spot on. In terms of geometry in the bike, 442mm chainstay, 64.5 degree seat-tube head angle, and a 72.5 degree seat-tube angle with a -23 drop on the bottom bracket. Suspension travel, 170mm up front and 160mm on the rear. Actually, well, I remember it actually comes in an extra large size as well, so don't forget that. The very popular Schwalbe Eddy current tyre on the back and a Magic Mary up front. Now, Lightville bikes, you can either buy them direct sales or you can buy them from a dealer, and it's always great to be able to go to a dealer and check the bike out, have a look at it, go for a test ride. Now, I bumped into a gentleman on the hill called Michael
Scheel.
Michael
Scheel.
Michael Scheel.
Or otherwise known as Michael Cycle.
Michael Cycle, out here in Pietrolegura. Mike, I've seen 4 really neat little touches on the back of this bike. Talk us through them.
Yeah, sure. So Lightville, on all their bikes, they've got the integrated rock guard. So this bolts directly into the frame. Another thing with the rear end is...
You got the derailleur hanger there, haven't you?
Yes, that's right. So the Syntace X12 system, instead of having a conventional derailleur hanger, which of course bends, is a weak point, but it also flexes, so that can cause problems with shifting. It has a snap bolt, so once a certain amount of force gets onto this, it'll snap the bolt and you just simply replace the bolt. So the other interesting thing at the rear end is here you've got the option to change the length of the chainstay, so you can put in a 29-inch wheel.
I didn't know that. Right. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
So a bit like you just basically just extend that, and if you want to run a 29-inch wheel, then you can do.
Whoa! Crikey! And of course the hub as well.
So yeah.
It's all in the detail, guys. It's all in the detail.
So when they moved from 142 to 148mm axles. Every other company just added on 3mm to each end of each side of the hub. Lightville decided to just go back to adding 6mm onto one side, which then meant that the chain line goes back to a convention that was around about 20 years ago. So your chain line is a lot straighter on the bigger cogs, which is where you've got the most tension. That also enabled them to have almost equal tension forces on the spokes. So you've got 48% on one side and 52% on the other side, as opposed to 62 and 38 in a conventional wheel. Makes for a lot more rigid and sturdy wheel, and you don't have to buy 2 different sizes of spokes.
Yeah, and the pièce de résistance, Mike, on the left-hand side there. Check this out. Check this out.
So in the X12 system,
there you go.
You have a little tool, so that will obviously remove the axle.
I'll just turn the bike around for you here.
Yep. So this pops in here, this is for removing the axle, but this will fit pretty much every bolt on the bike. Lightville have thought all that through. Titanium bolts are standard throughout the bike on all the suspension linkages. There's no bushings, it's all needle roller bearings. You just fit and you just forget about them. You're not having to change suspension bushes.
And what about the battery?
So the battery is 630 amp hour. A lot of bikes have a key access security system for the battery, but Lightville reckoned on that if you've got a bike like this, you're not going to leave it parked up where someone can pinch the battery. So you just unscrew that.
Look at that, super neat, love it.
And that's how to remove the battery, put it back in.
So there you go, guys, the Lightville 301. What I didn't mention, it's a carbon front triangle on the bike and alloy rear. And the seat post, this 8-pin seat post, 208mm travel?
228.
Whoa, crikey.
So 228mm of travel on the seat post, and just to give you an idea of how smooth it is, you don't have to lean on it with your elbow anymore. And to adjust the height of it, just very, very simple. You just put a key in here, move that, press it, set it to where you want it, lock that off again, and now the seat post goes up to that.
Yeah. And one last thing, guys, the bash guard. I didn't mention the bash guard. Or did I? Yes, I did mention the bash guard. What I didn't mention was the price. What are we looking at?
Okay, so the price of this bike, complete with the two extras, which are the in-house bash guard, the skid plate as they call it, and the chain tunnel, is €8,800. Comes with a 10-year transferable warranty, so the warranty stays with the bike and not with the owner. Lightville have their own unique progressively wound coil spring to give progressive suspension even though it's a coil.
So there you go. Beauty. Thanks, Mike.
You're welcome. Thank you very much.
Now, a great way of supporting us here on the channel is by checking out our merchandise that we do. We do t-shirts, we do hoodies, we do limited edition stuff, all that great kit for looking amazing on the hill on your bike.
Yeah, the adventure t-shirts in either navy or brown are great for this this crazy English autumn. It's actually blue. It's actually blue sky now. It's actually total blue sky. What the hell is going on?
We've got all our new t-shirts on there. As I mentioned, we've got hoodies, jackets. So get on there and check it out, and the details are up on screen now.
Yes, and also get on the channel this week, because we got some great new content coming out. On Friday is the 104 power stage, and this time with the recently launched Shimano EP8 motor. How does that motor stack up against the older E8000, which it will be replacing? And then on Sunday we've got a video which follows the story of a really cheap e-mounted bike we had on the channel several years ago, which we took up Snowdon.
Kevin lives.
Yes, however, our mechatronics engineer friend Ray has updated that bike, and I can tell you it is a lot different to what it used to be. And then on Monday, we take a look at a top EWS e-racer, Manuel Pombo's KTM Machina Prowler, which is a little bit special.
Right, it's time for comments and questions from this week's videos, and we've had a load of interesting feedback from the video that you did last week, Steve, on the 104 power stage, where you took the Shimano E8000 up the hill. Now this one's in from Hassy Berkmos. He's saying, well, put a 50 kilo rider on the Fly-On up that climb and change the name. The rider weight makes more of a difference than the motor brand.
Yeah, absolutely. But of course, we did ride the Fly-On up the hill, but with the same rider, and that was the whole purpose of the 104, is to see whether certain motors could actually put a faster time in than the fastest time, which is 104, which is set by another rider. And only time will tell to see how the other motors, the Bros, the Bosch, and the TQ stacked up against each other. But yes, yeah, absolutely. Hasse, we know for sure that lighter riders are always going to go uphill faster. And Dean Wilson here is confused. Why are you testing the E8000, which is being superseded by the EP8? Well, exactly that. You know, we're really keen to see how much better, or maybe how much worse, who knows, the EP8 motor is compared to the bike, to the motor which it is replacing.
Yeah, definitely. And we're catering for everyone, aren't we, on the channel? You know, those riders that maybe have got a bike a little bit older, still interested to see how that motor stacks up against the new ones.
Yeah, Chris, do you know what? And this is 100% true. I actually love riding all e-mountain bikes, and I have you basically tune in to the motor you ride. I guess it's the same as, when we used to ride maybe motorbikes, and if you're out on a 125 bike compared to a 500, the 125 wasn't necessarily any worse than the 500. It was simply just different, right?
Different traits, yeah, and it's exactly the same with the modern school e-bikes as well, isn't it?
Absolutely. Now, some interesting comments here, Chris, on your furniture in your house from Stephen Connor. Is no one going to mention the Grim Reaper thing above your left?
Yeah, well, we actually had a bit of a Halloween theme going on in the house. The kids love it, so we've got the Grim Reaper out, the pumpkins, all the Halloween stuff. So it's just a little bit of that hanging around it in the background. Right, it's time to go out and about and check out where you guys have been riding on your e-bikes all over the world. What we got, Steve?
Yes, and I'm going to start things off, Chris, by going over to the Gulf of Alaska. This is Timothy hiking and riding above an active volcano.
Whoa.
It's only Turbo Canevo. I mean, that's a bit bonkers, right?
Yeah, something I've never done is ride an active volcano. Been down a few volcanoes, but never ridden an active one. But that's pretty cool, isn't it? Nice shot.
Yeah.
Next up, we got Dennis. He's on his Bergamont e-Revox 4. He's in Bern in Switzerland. Beautiful bike ride with my 2-year-old rescue dog. That is a cool shot, isn't it? Look at that.
Yeah, and now over to western Montana. It's late October here. The storm has left us with 13 inches of snow. Crikey!
Whoa!
I think I'd rather the rain to the snow. Too deep to ride, but I did try on my Rad Mini. A total failure, but fun. This is David on his Turbo Levo here.
Nice. Next up, we've got Lambert with his Cube Stereo 2021 model. He's out in Toulouse in France, enjoying the last days of sun in the south of France on gnarly trails with great views. And that is an amazing view, isn't it? Look at that.
Yeah, absolutely. What a great part of the world to ride around Toulouse. You've got the Pyrenees, just a bit further south, and you've obviously got the coastal areas as well.
Yeah.
Now, next up is Marianne. I've got to say, Marianne, thank you so much for doing the translation for us here. Now this is on a 2020 Mondriga 29-inch chaser, and the location is northwest province of Costa Rica called Guanacaste. Now I think, or is it Guanacaste? Guanacaste? I guess you get Guanacaste in Wales. Now, Mary says, we love your channel, there's so many great videos, and miss seeing Chris Smith for the last while.
Oh, thank you very much. Miss you too.
I'd echo those sentiments there as well, Marianne. So glad you're back recovered from that terrible time of COVID. Now, Marianne says here that we are combating COVID blues and having absolute best times with our 2020 Mondriga chasers. Over 900 kilometers since purchasing them in March.
Whoa.
So I enjoyed a trip in northwest Guanacaste, Costa Rica, from the northern border to Quahiniquil. See, and that's it. The translation's there, so we don't go and up. And the historical Contra airfield to the base of Orosi, a volcano, to the beautiful milky blue Pizotea River. I mean, I'm making a meal of it, even with the translation.
You're doing good.
Cloudy days in a green season make for challenging photographs, though the temperature is much more bearable than the 35 to 40 degrees Celsius January through to May. Endless back roads to enjoy incredible scenery and wildlife you will never forget. Costa Rica, I'm on my way.
Definitely sounds like that's on my to-do list as well, Steve. I'm coming with you. Next up, we've got Keith here. He's on a BH Atom X Lynx 27.5, and he's out in West Creek, Colorado, on the Turtle Mountain segment of the 770 trail. It says, explore an expert level motorcycle single track that's open to all users. So I'm guessing that's kind of like a byway over there. Perfect for mountain biking. There were no hikers, no bikers, and only 2 motorcyclists in 4 hours. The trail passes through the rocks below, to the right of my front tyre. Now look at that trail down there. It does look good. I'd love to be riding that. Put that on the to-do list too, Steve, I think.
Yeah, turtle recall. Anyhow, Brian, I gotta say, I'm loving the where you've been, out and about, where in the world this week. Superb, absolutely superb. Inspirational, as ever. Brian, 2021 Giant Rain E+1 Pro. Race Face Atlanta stem, bats and pedals, and the location here is Big Bear, California, obviously a famous location for mountain bike World Cup downhill in the past, and he is at the top of the summit at Grand View. Brian says, I've been coming to Big Bear all my life, but we headed up here for our 21-year wedding anniversary, rode up to the summit with my wife, 2 sons and daughter, first time at Grand View Vista. And what a perfect way to sign out for this week's Where in the World. It's beautiful,
Definitely.
Brian.
Yeah,
absolutely beautiful.
Love seeing all those shots here. Just remember, if you want to get featured on the show for absolutely anything, Bike Vault, Where in the World, or tech, anything like that, send everything you've got into the upload service, and the details for that are up on screen now.
Right, now it's time for the Bike Vault, and I have no doubt that the quality of shots in here will be as great as ever. And starting off this week with Steve and his Rocky Mountain Instinct out in Kelowna, British Columbia. It's a beautiful bike. I love the colour on that one. I love the colour on that Rocky Mountain. I think that's got to be kick things off, I think, with a super nice.
Super nice. Right, next up we've got Manuel here with his KTM Messina. He's out in Portugal on the exploring some new trails in Monsanto. Looks like a cool bike, that. A little bit of hardtail action. Quite a skinny looking frame, that, as well, isn't it? It's a good looking bike though. Like that shot.
What do you mean a little bit of a hardtail? It either is a hardtail or it's not.
A little bit of a hardtail action going on, that's what I was going to say. But I think it's a nice trail. I'd like to see that bike a little bit closer. It's a bit sort of in the middle of the shot. I can't quite see the detail on it, so I'm going to give that one a nice.
Wow, Neely. Have I got Neely right, or Nieli? Apologies if I get your pronunciation wrong. But what I do know is this is a Norco site, VLT2, and the location is Uncompahgre Plateau in Colorado. A bit of autumn leaf going on there on the old silver birch. Like it. That's my husband and I getting to know our batteries on some sweet single track.
Nice. What do you think? Nice, super nice?
I think it's nice.
Nice.
Oh, look at that.
Whoa.
Look at that. Look at that.
A stunning shot here.
Stunner.
It looks small, that bike, I'm guessing.
Stunner.
So this is Lisa. Yes, she's got a Trek Rail 9.7 purple carbon model in the Cregenen Lakes. So biked up from Arthog to Cregenen Lakes back through. Oh, you might have to help me out, Steve.
So this is Dolgellau to the Maudach Estuary.
Maudach Estuary. Fabulous sunshine, clocked up 20 miles of wilderness. Absolutely epic ride.
Lisa.
And I think that is absolutely stunning shot, isn't it? The light, the background, the bike, everything about that is going to be might even be a super nice.
Lisa, I'm not being funny. That is a cool shot in a beautiful part of the world. And if you guys are living in the UK or maybe in any part of the world have not been to this area of Wales, then I highly recommend that you do so. Now,
Definitely.
Moving on now to more of a backyard shot, and nevertheless you can see the bike there. You can see the bike. I like it. I've not seen this bike before, Chris. This is a VLT2 Norco. It's like I said, Gold Coast of Australia. Absolutely loving this machine, says Ben, and and why wouldn't you? I mean, that is
good looking bike.
But Martin Ashton would say, do you have bikes in the Bike Vault in a bike stand? That's the question.
I think so.
You think so?
I think it looks good. I think it looks pretty tech. Yeah, it's better than standing it on your helmet.
I think we might need to consult Martin Ashton on that one. So I'm afraid, Ben, we're going to leave it at a nice for this week. But get it against that fence in the background. I'm sure you could upgrade to super nice. And talking about super nice this is a super nice.
Tom, a specialised Kenevo expert. He's out in South Wales.
What do you mean he's out?
Just chilling.
What do you mean out in South Wales? Chris, South Wales is about an hour from where you are.
He says he's just chilling between the trees.
Can you imagine that? Yeah, where do you live? Yeah, I live out in South Wales.
But I still love that classic Kenevo. It's a cool shot, that double X design on the frame, and that's a great looking bike, great looking shot. Another super nice.
Yeah, out in Merthyr Tydfil, is it? Where is it?
Yeah.
I'm loving the flag there. I'm loving the flag. And you gave Tom a super nice, did you?
Super nice.
Oh, Chris, I'm loving the purple on this bike.
It's great looking, isn't it?
That is cool, isn't it? Do you know what? That Spectralon is an outstanding e-mountain bike. So for anybody who thinks that, you know, new motors, blah, 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 is going to give you more fun, do not 1 minute think that, because that bike is a great bike to ride. Super nice.
Super nice. Whoa, so this next one's in from Anesh. This is a 2019 Merida E140 out in the Farm Windhoek Trails in Ouse Mountains, Windhoek and Namibia.
Whoa.
Namibia.
I think Anesh, this is the first bike we've had from Namibia. Beautiful. Look how nice and dry it is. But it's like orangey colour. It's almost like golden dust, isn't it?
Does look good. It's an amazing shot as well. It looks like a great place to ride an e-bike. So yeah, I'm going to go with that one. It's super nice too. Giving them away this week.
Super nice, Anesh. Now this is a familiar looking place. This looks like Bike Park Wales to me.
Yeah.
So this is Steve, Cube Stereo 160 Action Team, upgraded with V4 calipers and Tech 3 levers. Hey guys, keep up the great work you're doing. I'm Steve, and this was an epic day out at Bike Park Wales. Yeah, Black Adder.
Wow. Nice or super nice?
I'm not a fan of having trail signage and shots.
You're not? Oh, just a nice, is it?
Do you reckon?
Nice. Whoa, check this one out.
Look at that. Look at that.
It's cool, isn't it?
Look at that.
Is another Welsh entry. This is in from Chris, doing a bit of night riding on his white E180 RS out of Mountain Ash. Night ride with a few of the Poo Crew boys. So that sounds like an interesting crew you've got going out.
Chris, interesting story here. Now, I think, if I'm right, this location is where we built a downhill track about 21 years ago.
Really?
It might be. The thing is, it doesn't even look, I mean, yeah, that's, again, another shot out in South Wales. I mean, that could be Phoenix. It could be...
Definitely.
You know, it could be anywhere, isn't it?
Definitely. It's a cool shot, isn't it? I'm going to give that one a super nice. I've had a roll of super nices this week. But ending up, you've got to choose Bike of the Week, Steve. And I think I already know which one's going to win this one. What's your thoughts?
It's got to be Lisa, isn't it? It's got to be Lisa.
Got to be Lisa with that awesome trek.
But Chris,
in that background,
I tell you,
that is an amazing shot.
I know, but Chris, you know, this time of the year, you know, people are out night riding. That's a cool shot as well. But I think Lisa edges it in terms of out there
Lisa
adventure.
takes it.
Nice one, Lisa.
Yeah.
Send some more shots in from Dolgellau. We'd love to see them.
Definitely, and yeah, as I mentioned before, if you've got any shots you want to get featured on the Bike Vault, use that upload and it could be you taking Bike of the Week next week.
So that's it for this week's show. I'd just like to say, I'd actually like to see some more video submissions to the Bike Vault with your bikes. So for example, Chris in Mountain Ash, or Lisa up in Dolgellau, or indeed the Costa Rica, Alaska, Eastern Australia. Take some video and let's get a bit of a video bike check going on for the Bike Vault.
Yeah, love seeing it, don't we? Climbs, descents, crashes, all that stuff. We love seeing it here on the show.
So thanks again, folks. Don't forget to like and subscribe to EMBN, and we'll see you next time.